This is 92 Bricks, the fastest growing hip-hop page on Instagram. Now we're here to take over YouTube, treating you to exclusive, inside information covered like never before. Kick back, hit the thumbs up button, and subscribe. There are rappers who send shots. Then there's Eminem, the man who declared war on the entire industry. Rappers, critics, pop stars, even his own mother, even his own wife. He dissed Michael Jackson, made Ja Rule vanish, ended MGK's rap career, and turned his own family into diss tracks. And by the end of this documentary, you'll have seen 21 people who came at Eminem and found out the hard way why that was a mistake. Some got embarrassed, some got erased, and some never recovered. And we'll be ranking every single beef along the way. So get ready to see who got scorched, who barely survived, and who got buried. So roll yourself up some of the finest sticky icky and lock in, because you don't want to miss this. Keep watching to find out who survived and who got slaughtered. This is Eminem versus everybody, the ultimate beef breakdown. Machine Gun Kelly.
Then he starts doing a press run, basically, about Haley. I'm like, what the f?
This beef didn't start with a diss track. It started with a tweet. In 2012, a 21-year-old Machine Gun Kelly hit Twitter and said, "Okay, so I just saw a picture of Eminem's daughter, and I have to say she is hot as fuck in the most respectful way possible because M is king." MGK's tweet was wild sus because Haley was only 16 at the time. Even with the respectful clause, M saw it. And he didn't forget it. He never does. MGK claimed he got banned from Eminem's radio station Shade 45 after that.
I'm my favorite rapper alive. Since my favorite rapper banned me from Shade 45, I wonder.
Blackballed behind the scenes. He spoke about it in interviews, freestyles, and radio spots.
Bruh. A lot of went on behind the scenes.
Like I said,
that sucks.
certain people won't even listen or review this joint. Certain places you won't even hear Machine Gun Kelly on.
But it was always subtle smoke. Until 2018, Machine Gun Kelly dropped a feature verse on Tech Nine's track No Reason, which contained lyrics which are widely perceived to be shots at Eminem.
It's only one option. You gon' need a doctor. I ain't talking about the one from Compton. So remind y'all, you just rap, you not bars. And I don't care who got bars.
M heard the shot and responded on his Kamikaze album with the track Not Alike.
So he does a feature, decides to team up with Nina. But next time you don't gotta use Tech 9 if you wanna come at me with a submachine gun.
MGK didn't wait. He fired back and rap devil.
Hey, somebody grab some clippers. This beard is weird. Tough talk from a rapper paying millions for security a year. I think my dad's gone crazy. Yeah, Haley, you right.
It was a bold move. Well written, smart, ballsy. Some even said MGK won until M dropped Killshot.
Stand, son. Listen, man, dad isn't mad, but how you gonna name yourself after a damn gun and have a man bun?
M didn't just clap back. He dismantled MGK's persona, flow, and image in under 4 minutes. MGK had no response. All he could do was jump on Instagram and claim that Eminem missed. MGK described M's diss track as a leg shot and not a kill shot. But the next time we saw him, he dropped tickets to My Downfall, a pop-punk album. Switched genres, dipped. The internet said what everyone else was thinking. Eminem dissed the rap out of MGK. And MGK, he never came back to rap. One tweet, one diss, one career detour. This wasn't just a beef. This was a genre homicide. Beef rating, 9 out of 10. Big talk, bold move, but M buried him. Too harsh or spot on? Ja Rule.
I get mad quick and go off at the handle quick. So I got mad and I started letting them know how I feel.
There's rap beef, and then there's saying something so reckless it kills your career. Ja Rule had already been at war with 50 Cent. It was personal, violent, and deep. But when Eminem signed 50 to Shady Records, Ja dragged Eminem into the crossfire. And instead of playing it smart, he tried to go for the jugular. On the diss track, Loose Change, Ja crossed the one line you don't cross. He dissed Eminem's daughter, Haley.
You claim your mother's a cat and Kim is a known so what's Haley gonna be when she grows up? You know what it is.
Nope, that was the moment everything changed. M doesn't play about Haley. Not then, not now, not ever. You can diss Eminem, you can diss his crew, you can diss his label, But the second you mention Haley, it becomes personal warfare. Eminem, 50 Cent G-Unit, D12, Obi Trice, Dr. Dre, and even Busta Rhymes all pulled up for the Killshot. They dropped back-to-back disses, but here are some of the most significant diss tracks from Eminem, where he was decimating Ja Rule. The Hail Mary freestyle.
If Pac was still here now, you could never ride with Ja. Nah, 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 nah.
Do Re Mi, Haley's Revenge.
Haley, what do you want to be when you grow up, baby?
I don't know. But I don't want to grow up to be like Ja Rule's little dirty-ass kids.
Hits the fan.
Are you gonna stand and fight like a man? Will you be as hard as you say you are? Will you gonna run and you get your bodyguard?
Bump heads.
And I done seen a lot of people cross the line, but this motherfucker Ja must have lost his mind.
Ja tried to clap back, with literally a song called Clap Back. He also dropped the Blood in My Eye album, an album full of diss tracks, gunning heavily at anybody who had been dissing him. But nobody cared. His buzz died, his credibility crashed, and 50 Cent blackballed him from the industry. Even Irv Gotti later admitted it.
Yeah, we took the L.
Ja Rule went from platinum hooks and MTV Love to becoming a punchline in rap music.
I can't let a do me like Ja Rule. No. I ain't even really f***ing with these rap dudes.
M didn't just kill Ja's buzz and music career. He zipped the body bag and signed the tag, all because of one bar. He dissed Haley and got dismembered in return. That wasn't beef, that was career execution. Beef rating 10 out of 10. He dissed Haley. M ended him and 50 helped bury the body. Surely you can't disagree on this one. Mariah Carey.
And I was like, why are you so obsessed with me?
Eminem never claimed to be perfect, but he always told the truth, even when it made him look crazy. So when he said he had a relationship with Mariah Carey, he meant it. He didn't say it for clout. He said it because it happened.
The Mariah thing, yeah, that's true. Those rumors are true, and I'm not gonna deny them.
They met, they dated, they did more than dinner. But instead of owning it, Mariah Carey, the pop world's porcelain diva, decided to pretend the most famous rapper on the planet was making it up.
In terms of me having like an intimate relationship with men, I can name them all on one hand, and he ain't on the hand.
Eminem didn't take that well. He aired out their history on Superman.
If you died, wouldn't buy you life. What you trying to be my new wife? What, you Mariah? Fly through twice.
When the music stops.
The f you take me for a joke? You smoking? Before I do that, I beg Mariah to take me back.
And eventually, Bagpipes from Baghdad.
Mariah, what's ever happened to us? Why did we have to break up? All I asked for was a glass of punch.
Mariah clapped back with Clown.
When you knew very well we never even touched each other.
A vague, soft jab that never hit the charts. Then she upped the drama with Obsessed, a full-on pop single, with a video featuring her dressed like Eminem.
Why you so obsessed with me? And boy, I wanna know. Lying that you're sexing me.
Hoodie, goatee, stalking her own mansion. It was theatrical, it was petty, and it was a lie. M responded with The Warning, one of the coldest diss tracks ever aimed at a pop star.
Oh geez, that's supposed to be me in the video with the goatee? Wow, Mariah, didn't expect it to go balls out. Shut the f up before I put all them phone calls out.
One side note, you probably already knew about this beef. Nick Cannon, who Mariah Carey married, also caught the smoke from M.
You made it my house when you was wildin' out. Before, Nick, when you was on my and give you something to smile about.
Nick tried to defend him and his wife with a diss track called I'm a Slick Rick.
I don't know if I should hit him cause he's feminine slick. Excuse me, Eminem, why you lying on your wreck?
There's chicks that are married to dudes now. I wouldn't throw it out there like that. But then this is the thing. He lied about it.
Lied about it? And was dropping receipts, bro.
Mariah, it ever occurred to you that I still have pictures? However you prefer to do, and that goes for Nick too. You think I'm scared of you?
He said my name. I'm like, look, I know I ain't gonna be. I said that I know I'm not gonna be able to out rap you, but I will whoop your ass. And those were the exact words.
Ooh. M was just having too much fun screwing both Mariah and Nick. No homo. M hit back with the track Lord Above.
Almost got my caboose kicked. Fool quit. You're not gonna do shit. I let her chop my balls off too before I lost to you, Nick.
The funny thing is, the beef was between Eminem and Mariah, and somehow Nick is the one who lost. In 2020, when Mariah dropped her memoir, the industry held its breath. Would she finally admit it? Nope. She skipped him. Not because it didn't happen, but because acknowledging it meant losing. M had the last word, the last track, the last laugh. She called him obsessed, but he had proof. Details she never denied, only avoided. And when it came to lyrical warfare, Eminem didn't just clap back. He torched the fantasy. Beef rate, 10 out of 10. Diva warfare with fake Eminem costumes and a surprisingly good clapback with Why You So Obsessed With Me. So for that, 10 out of 10. You good with that? This is a public service announcement brought to you in part by 92 Bricks. If you've made it this far and still haven't subscribed, you're probably watching on Ja Rule's burner account. Fix that. Benzino.
So we gonna beef and keep on beefing unless...
This wasn't just rap beef. This was a media war, and Eminem took down the whole goddamn empire. Benzino wasn't some upstart diss rapper. He was the co-owner of the Source magazine, the biggest, most influential voice in hip-hop at the time. And when Eminem dropped the Marshall Mathers LP, arguably one of the greatest rap albums ever, Benzino refused to give it a 5 mic rating, which is crazy if you ask me. Behind closed doors, Benzino didn't like M, didn't like how fast he blew up, didn't like that a white boy from Detroit was being crowned the GOAT, so he started swinging. First, he dropped the diss track, Pull Your Skirt Up.
A 5 mic giver, the Marshall Maggot Ripper. Better never let me see you with some juice, I'm gonna strip you.
Then he dropped Die Another Day.
Shady Records just a bunch of house. Extra security in your front lobby. Better call the Secret Service if you're gonna stop me.
He said M was only winning because of the machine, that he wasn't real hip-hop. Then he made it worse. He brought Haley into it.
Tell Haley it ain't safe no more. Daddy better watch your back at the candy store.
Nah, that was the death sentence. Eminem didn't waste time. He fired back with a 3-track killing spree. First, it was The Sauce.
Now you f***ed me out of my mics twice, I let it slide. I said I wouldn't hold my f***ing breath to get a 5.
Then he dropped Nail in the Coffin.
You sit behind a f***ing desk at the source butt kissing and begging motherfuckers for guest appearances.
Finally, he dropped Go to Sleep.
You're gonna see a demon unleashed in me that you never seen, and you're gonna see this gangster pee on himself.
After the humiliation, Benzino played his last card. He leaked an old tape of teenage Eminem degrading black women. But M didn't run. He stepped up, released a full public apology, and said he hoped people would take it for the foolishness that it was. The fans didn't cancel him. They canceled Benzino. Writers started quitting The Source. The magazine's reputation collapsed. Sales dropped. It became a punchline. M didn't just win the beef. He crushed not only The Source magazine, but Benzino too. Years later, Benzino clarified that from his side, the beef was over and recognized Eminem's contributions to hip-hop. He even broke down in tears on the Drink Champs podcast.
I don't got nothing against Eminem. Got nothing against Eminem, they can rap.
But Eminem decided to put one more nail in the coffin by releasing a diss called Doomsday Part 2.
What is the opposite of Benzino? What? A giraffe. Go with his neck, how the f*** is that? How can I go with something he doesn't have?
Benzino tried hard, but Benzino failed even harder. Eminem wiped the floor with him on this one, which is why we're giving this beef a perfect 10 out of 10 rating. This one's cold. Too cold or a perfect 10? Hit the comments. Joe Budden.
If I want to diss him, I can just diss him. And if his name is attached, y'all know clickbait culture, then hey, Joe Budden disses Eminem, and that's what it looks like.
Joe Budden wasn't an outsider. He wasn't an op. He was signed to Eminem, 1/4 of Slaughterhouse, a lyrical assassin, a shady soldier. But somewhere along the way, Joe stopped being a teammate and became a commentator. When Eminem dropped Revival, Joe called it trash before it even dropped.
From what I know, it sounds trash. Even though it didn't come with audio, we're looking at it and the common folk are saying, this looks trash.
He didn't say it in a verse. He said it on his podcast, week after week. More jabs, more critiques, always behind the mic, but never in the booth. M didn't clap back immediately, but you knew it was coming. On Chloroseptic Remix, he addressed the hate.
So you formed your verdict while you sat with your arms crossed, did your little reaction videos and talked over songs.
Then on Kamikaze, he finally dropped the name on a track called Fall.
Somebody tell Budden before I snap, he better fasten it, or have his body back and zip the closest thing he's had to hit to smack him.
Joe responded, not with bars, but with more talking.
Let me tell you what Joe Budden has thought this entire time. I've been better than you this entire decade.
Joe Budden better than Eminem? The internet wasn't having it. Comment below if you think Joe in his prime could take down M.
Eminem's a god. I don't give a what you think.
After that embarrassment, Budden walked away from rap, but kept on speaking on M's name when he brought out new music.
I know where he stands as an MC. I know what he does. I didn't feel that urgency with this. Having nothing to do with him or the music.
Just, it has nothing to do with him dissing you neither?
No, not at all. I'm over that.
Okay. Joe leaned fully into podcasting, but never recorded a diss. Never stepped in the ring. Meanwhile, M kept swinging, kept rapping, kept dominating. Joe stayed talking about the game. Eminem kept playing it. This wasn't a battle. This was a walk-off. M didn't kill Joe Budden with a verse. He buried him in silence. Beef rating, 7.5 out of 10. Budden talked for years, but should he have stepped in the booth, or was silence the nail in the coffin? You decide. Snoop Dogg.
I don't think we plugged in enough, so Chronic 2001, no stress, no stems, no sticks. Dr. Dre.
Eminem and Snoop Dogg. Two of Dr. Dre's biggest and most influential proteges. Both in the same camp. Both riding for the same team. At least that's what everybody thought. Until 2020, when Snoop Dogg stopped by the Breakfast Club and denounced Eminem.
The game feels like he's top 10 lyricists and all that comes with it, but that's just because he's with Dr. Dre, and Dr. Dre helped him find the best Eminem that he could find. When you're talking about this hip-hop that I can't live without, I can live without that.
Snoop's comments not only confused fans, but they also left Eminem perplexed. So Eminem did what he does best. He hit the studio. Eminem responded to Snoop on Zeus on his Kamikaze album.
And diplomatic, cause I'm trying to be lasting. I need a Snoop Dogg in me. Man, dog, you was like a damn god to me. Man, not really.
Then things took an unexpected and sobering turn. The man who they both owed everything to, Dr. Dre, almost died of a brain aneurysm.
I'm at Cedars-Sinai Hospital, and they weren't allowing anybody to come up, but they allowed my family to come in. I found out later they called them up so they could say their last goodbyes because they thought I was out of here.
And off the back of this, Snoop and Eminem chopped it up and squashed whatever issue they may have had.
When that thing happened with Dre, the brain aneurysm thing.
Yeah, Dre got sick, and it was a scare for sure.
And we were like, bro, this is stupid. This is stupid as hell to be feuding right now. So I don't remember if I called him or he called me. I can't remember, but we talked it out.
Snoop shared a similar sentiment when he revisited the Breakfast Club.
You didn't mention Eminem. We talked about that, and he got a little upset. But we see you squashed it out. How was that conversation? Because I know y'all had that conversation.
I love Eminem, and the thing is that we love hip-hop so much. We competitive. We battle rappers, so that was supposed to trigger that in him. But we brothers and we family, so we learned to appreciate each other for what we do and how we get down. And we had a long conversation about the respect that we have for each other and the way we need to talk in public about each other. And I felt like I was out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? And I apologized to him and I let him know. And I'm just better at myself. You know what I'm saying? I make mistakes. I ain't perfect. I'm Snoop Dogg.
Classy. Since then, the two have collaborated and even performed together alongside Dre at the Super Bowl halftime show. Let's be honest, these two could never beef with each other.
You know what I'm saying? The rap game is supposed to be that. It's supposed to be challenging, right? It's supposed to make you dig in your bag. Because I've heard you on other songs with other rappers, and you tend to show out. So I wanted to make sure that I was going to represent.
Yeah, you showed out. You definitely showed out.
Just wanted to represent with you one time.
You know what they say, nobody wins when the family feuds. The beef is well and truly squashed. Beef rating, 1 out of 10. Does a 1 feel right for silent tension between legends? Or should it be higher for the drama alone? Drop your rating below. Kim.
Just seems like ever since he's got, famous, blew up, our relationship went downhill from there,
Before Eminem roasted pop stars. Before Benzino got torched. Before Ja Rule's career collapsed. There was Kim Scott, the one person who knew every part of him and still got buried in the music. They were high school sweethearts. They had a kid together called Haley. They had chaos. And M didn't just air it out. He turned their breakup into one of the most disturbing tracks in rap history on 97 Bonnie and Clyde.
And mama said she wants to show you how far she can flow. And don't worry about that little boo-boo wanna throw.
That's M talking to Haley about murdering her mom and disposing of her body. No metaphors, no punchlines, just raw violence dressed up like a lullaby. Want to know something wild? Eminem and Kim actually got married after this track dropped. Then came the prelude to 97 Bonnie and Clyde, Kim. A full-blown audio homicide where Eminem kills Kim.
Don't you get it? No one can hear you. Now shut the f up and get what's coming to you.
He didn't just rap it, He screamed it, acted it out, cried mid-verse. By the time the track ended, it sounded like someone needed to call the cops. Kim sued. The world gasped.
I was embarrassed. I was humiliated. And then I always just wondered what people think of me, you know? He is supposed to be the man that loves me and is supposed to protect me, you know, from being hurt. And here he is, completely and totally disrespecting me in the worst way possible in front of millions of people.
And M, he kept going. The chaos didn't stop there. Eminem was arrested for allegedly assaulting a man named John Guerrera with an unloaded gun after the Detroit rapper claimed he saw Guerrera kissing his then-wife, Kim.
I just seen his face. That is when I realized who it was. That's when I was like, holy shit, that's Eminem.
An incident he later half-joked about not doing. In the track, Sing for the Moment.
You're full of too, Guerrera. That was a bitch that hit you.
Needless to say that Eminem and Kim got divorced, but time wore him down. And eventually, the fury cracked. First on Mockingbird, the anger softened.
It may seem a little crazy, pretty baby, but I promise mama's gonna be alright.
Then on Going Through Changes, the pain finally surfaced.
I still love your mother, that'll never change. Think about her every day. We just could never get it together, hey.
Then came Bad Husband, the closest them ever came to forgiveness.
But I'm sorry, Kim, more than you could ever comprehend. Leaving you was harder than sawing off a body limb.
He said it himself. He went too far. He can't perform Kim anymore. Can't even listen to it. This wasn't just diss music. It was rage turned into rhyme, and it left scars on both sides. I'm giving this a 9.5 because no one else pushed Eminem to that level of madness. What would you rate it? Too far? Too real? Let us know below. Royce the 5'9". Before all the platinum plaques, before the stadium tours, there was Bad Meets Evil.
Royce the 5'9". One of them pretty rappers, if I really have to, I really slap you.
Eminem and Royce the 5'9". Two lyrical monsters from Detroit. One mission, out-rap everybody alive. They dropped underground heaters like scary movies and had a raw, undeniable chemistry. But when Eminem signed with Dr. Dre, things shifted. Royce stayed behind and Eminem's crew D12 stepped in. Royce thought D12 were whack and didn't hold back from making his opinion clear, but we'll get to that in a minute. Eminem distanced himself from Royce and really started pushing D12. The tension got thick. Big proof of D12 and Royce clashed in the streets. Shots were fired, lyrically and literally. Police reports, club fights, Detroit politics. Then Royce dropped Malcolm X, a diss track aimed at D12, which also included a direct shot at Eminem.
I just wish Eminem would stop telling everybody he ain't speaking to me like I'm one of his or something. How about this? I ain't speaking to you, chump, and I'ma keep picking on your weak-ass crew.
M stayed quiet, aside from one small jab on the conspiracy freestyle, where he stopped himself from saying Royce's name.
Rhinestones are so nice, they shine so bright, especially at night after a hit of Ain't that right? Whoa, wait a minute.
Broadly speaking, M let his crew D12 handle it. For years, Eminem and Royce didn't speak. Then tragedy struck. Big proof of D12 was shot and killed in 2006. He was the heart of D12, the one who always tried to keep the family together, and when he died, the silence between M and Royce broke. They talked, they healed. They remembered why they started in the first place. In 2011, they dropped Hell the Sequel, a lyrical bloodbath that reminded everyone what real rap sounds like.
You still fly kites daily. Catch me in my Mercedes, bumping ice, ice, baby, screaming shady till I die.
In a sea of dead friendships and burned bridges, this chapter wasn't a funeral, it was a resurrection. Royce and M went from war back to blood brothers. Because sometimes, even in beef, you get one comeback story. Beef rating 3 out of 10. Nobody ever wanted to see these two beef, but let's not cap. Royce had some nice bars. Canibus.
Eminem called you out. Oh, can you say that name on this? Yes, I can.
There was a time when Canibus was supposed to be that guy. Bar for bar, lethal, smart, respected. His diss on LL Cool J made him a household name in hip-hop's underground elite. But when Eminem blew up, Canibus started seeing shadows. He was convinced that Eminem ghost wrote LL's response on the track The Ripper's Response, which M denied.
Canibus asked me, and I was like, dog, I'll tell you if I wrote it. I didn't write it. And he was like, yo, B, I'm not gonna say that I believe you. I didn't know what the guy's problem was.
After this exchange, Eminem name dropped Canibus on the track Role Model.
I'm cancerous. So when I did, you wouldn't want to answer this if you responded back with a battle rap you wrote for Canibus.
This is where the beef really started. Over the next few years, a huge number of diss tracks were exchanged. Here's some of the highlights. Get You Mad by Eminem.
Lesson 3, get a job at a label. Switch demos with Canibus and put yours on the owner's cable.
F You by Canibus.
You a rapper with a drug habit, hiding the truth, camouflaging your needle tracks with some colorful tattoos.
Square Dance by Eminem.
I'll be brief and let me just keep it simple. Canibus don't want no beef with Slim, no!
Curriculum 101 by Canibus.
Anybody better than bitch must be a hoax. Black man, no. What about the great white hope? What? Man, you must be sniffing great white coat.
After this lyrical back and forth between the two rappers, Eminem dropped one of the more memorable diss tracks called Canibus. I see what you did there, Em. Pretty catchy, if you ask me. Well, Canibus thought it was Eminem who was the bitch, which he aired out on the track Airstrike.
You ain't no hip-hop messiah. You a cause you diss Mariah. Like that, supposed to be private.
Canibus might have lost the spotlight war, but lyrically, he held his ground. He was one of the few who could actually go toe-to-toe with Eminem, even if the world stopped watching. Things stayed quiet for a while, until Eminem dropped his 2004 album Encore, and couldn't resist slipping in another jab at Canibus on the track Never Enough.
And when you face me with all the shit you've been saving to say to me, you had all this time to think about it now. Don't put the album.
The beef died for 15 years, until Eminem teamed up with Conway the Machine on Bang to remind Canibus who really won.
That was back when I smoked cannabis. Man, but it was tough because I was a fan of his, so it's up to hand him his ass.
And the craziest part, all of this, the sneak disses, the career fallout, could have been avoided. If Canibus never accused Eminem of ghostwriting LL Cool J's diss, none of this might have happened. He said it himself years later on the My Expert Opinion podcast.
My conversation with him was like, well, yo, why did you write that? What did he say? He said he was embarrassed and said, I didn't write it, so forth and so on. But I had destroyed the opportunity of ever really working with him again because he really was genuine about how he felt was going on.
Beef rating? 6 out of 10. Canibus was one of the few who could actually spit. He just didn't know when to log off. Thoughts on the rating? Too harsh? Too generous? Drop your rating below. Suge Knight.
How does it feel to be so feared?
I don't look at it as fear, I look at it as respected.
You'll notice something strange in Eminem's career. He's dissed pop stars, rap legends, politicians, even his own mother. But one name he avoided speaking publicly on. Suge Knight. Why? Because back in the early 2000s, Suge wasn't just a name. He was a threat. He ran death row records with fear, muscle, and street power. And when Dr. Dre broke away from death row to build Aftermath and signed Eminem, Suge didn't like it. There were rumors that Suge sent goons to Aftermath events, that Eminem had to start traveling with security, that Dre and M were on alert 24/7. But nothing was ever confirmed. Nothing made the headlines. Nothing. Dre specifically told Eminem to stay out of the beef. Eminem's track record says it all. I mean, look at the documentary you're watching right now. Eminem doesn't shy away from beef. Eminem wanted to speak on Suge, but Dre said, hell nah. And M listened. No diss tracks, no interviews, just silence. For 2 decades, people assumed that was the end of it. That was until January 2025. A song leaks. Unreleased, unheard, but very real. Eminem, circa 2003, going directly at Suge Knight. And not just shots. Accusations. He blamed Suge for both Tupac and Biggie's deaths, which M played out on the track Smack You.
Holding Suge responsible for the deaths of the 2 greatest rappers to ever grace the face of this planet. If only the late, great Mr. Christopher Wallace could talk, he could tell you himself. I'm holding Suge responsible for the death of Ja Rule or anyone else down with the road. In the immortal words of Pac, speaking for me and any other rapper next to get shot.
Around the time that track was recorded, Suge Knight really pulled up. He knew Eminem, 50 Cent, and Dr. Dre were in LA together, shooting the video for 50 Cent's In the Club.
In the video, my new video called In the Club.
So he pulled up and tried to intimidate them with a huge group of Mexican gang members.
That was crazy because Suge pulled up, so it was kind of like a crazy...
I heard it with the Mexicans?
With the Mexicans. I was bugging because I seen, this is when I knew Eminem was real. He's like, I don't give a f***, man. This is when I knew. I'm like, damn, Eminem is a real 50 outside. What's up? And then the Suge just walked away. The Mexicans looked kind of confused, like they didn't know what was going on.
Suge with a gang of Mexicans. Straight intimidation tactics. Trying to apply pressure. Let everyone know whose city they were in. And Eminem didn't flinch, didn't leave, didn't back down. That confrontation wasn't rap drama. It was street-level pressure from one of the most feared men in the game. And M stood in it, knowing full well what could happen. So when you hear that leaked track now, it hits different, because it wasn't theoretical. It was personal. It was dangerous. How crazy do you think things would have got if Eminem actually did drop Smack You? Suge is now out of everybody's way and in jail for 28 years. I doubt either will be pursuing a beef when Suge gets released. Beef rating, 8 out of 10. Eminem stood tall against the most feared man in the industry. Jermaine Dupri.
But what about Jermaine?
Jermaine Dupri was winning, producing for Usher, Mariah, Bow Wow, cranking out hits and collecting plaques, but then he made a mistake, a big one. He told XXL magazine this, "Ain't nobody in the industry that can do what I do. Not Dre, not Timbaland, not nobody."
It was me being competitive.
Yeah, right. Wrong move. On Say What You Say, Eminem and Dre joined forces to fuck up Jermaine.
But what about Jermaine? Jermaine, he don't belong speaking mine or Timbaland's name.
That's the thing about Dre, he could squash anybody at any moment.
When I see you, I'ma step on you and not even know it, you shit.
Eminem then put JD in his place.
We'll rub it in every club you're in. We'll have you blackballed and make sure you never rap a fucking gig.
JD tried to fire back on a freestyle.
With that S-O-S-O death M-O-B. Dre, this JD.
Then he dissed Eminem.
Most hated DJ. Eminem, I left you out deliberately. You know why? 3.5. Because to me, you like a character in Disney World. Known for dissing pop groups and Justin's ex-girl.
Let's be honest, that was lame as fuck. Not that Eminem needed to reply, but he ended the beef once and for all on a DJ K-Slay freestyle.
We dictate these mixtapes, motherfucker. Exhibit Blaze, little NBA sucker.
I'm glad that Eminem dissed me and said what he said in that song. Is let everybody know how far ahead of the game I was when he said it.
Far ahead? Yeah, sure. I guess we all agree this was another easy dub for Eminem. Somebody clean up that white chalk. Our beef rating, 6 out of 10. Tried to come for Dre. M sent one verse and ended it. Fast, efficient, forgettable. Debbie Mathers.
How many people out there still got beef with a relative?
Eminem has beefed with rappers, pop stars, legends, and entire media empires. But the most painful, most complicated, most controversial chapter in his catalog was about his own mother, Debbie Mathers. The woman who raised him, the woman who became the center of his darkest songs, the woman who, in Eminem's words, fed him pain like it was dinner. The first jab came on M's breakthrough 1999 album, The Slim Shady LP, with the track My Name Is.
99% of my life I was lied to. I just found out my mom does more than I do.
The success of the Slim Shady LP skyrocketed Eminem's career. The album sold 283,000 copies in its first week. That rapid rise to fame also shone a spotlight on his mother. The track became a hit, but it tore open a wound. Debbie sued Eminem for defamation and demanded $10 million. That's crazy work if you ask me. Debbie said he'd exaggerated everything.
He says you were neglectful,
No,
pill popping,
no,
welfare collecting.
no.
But M doubled down in interviews.
When you buy a Slim Shady album, you're gonna get Slim Shady. You're not gonna get birds and bees and flowers and trees. You're gonna get you suck my sucking motherfucker. That's what you're gonna get because that's what I'm about.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but Debbie clapped back with a track of her own.
Will the real Marshall Mathers please stand up and take responsibility for his actions? With the release of the CD, it was one of the ways for me to get my feelings out there to my son and the public.
M continued the beef and released the track Marshall Mathers.
My mom's suing for $10 million. She must want $1 for every pill I've been stealing.
After this track, Eminem's mom ultimately won the lawsuit, but was only awarded $25,000. And M really found that hilarious, which he alluded to in the Eminem Show's lead single, Without Me.
Get ready, 'cause this is about to get heavy. I just settled all my lawsuits. You did it!
M followed this up with one of the coldest diss tracks of all time, cleaning out my closet.
I never meant to make you cry, but tonight I'm cleaning out my closet.
Along with the track came an iconic music video where Em didn't hold back.
But put yourself in my position. Just try to envision witnessing your mama popping prescription pills in the kitchen.
He didn't just stop there.
But how dare you try to take what you didn't help me to get? You selfish. I hope you fucking burn in hell for this.
That's diabolical. Eminem's hatred for his mother needs to be studied.
I mean, your anger and your hostilities towards me, what have I really actually done to you?
But it just seemed that the more M beefed with Debbie, the bigger his fame grew.
I tried to squash the beef with mine, but she won't shut up. And if y'all know me like Proof loves me.
Say you, Debbie, Debbie. I said you, Debbie, Debbie. Say you, Debbie, Debbie. Now say you, Debbie, Debbie.
That's wild, right? Spoiler alert, after this, things gradually started to change. Years passed, the lawsuits faded, and so did the hate. Then in 2013, M did something no one saw coming. On the track, Headlights, he apologized.
Cleaning out my closet and all them other songs, but regardless, I don't hate you, cause mom, you're still beautiful to me, cause you're my mom.
In a career built on rage, this was the first time Eminem showed true regret. He dissed his mother so hard, he couldn't even listen to himself. This wasn't beef, this was therapy. And Debbie? She's the only one who got a real apology. Because in the end, Eminem destroyed careers with lyrics, but when it came to his mom, he destroyed a part of himself too. Fast forward to 2024, Debbie dies at 69 years old. No headlines, no diss track, no bitter punchline, just silence. And maybe for the first time in his life, Eminem found peace not by writing about her, but by letting her go. Beef rating 10 out of 10. Nobody else has made M want to apologize like this. This wasn't just a diss. This was the top tier of disrespect. It was personal. Is 10 too high? Did M take it too far? Let us know. You've probably smoked that blunt of sticky icky by now. I certainly have. So, before you get too blazed, hit that subscribe button. Moby.
Some people really don't like me very much. Going way back, a couple of decades, Eminem being the most famous example of that.
It all started at the MTV VMAs when Moby and Pink were presenting the Best Rap Video Award.
Dr. Dre.
Moby refused to shake Eminem's hand as they came up to collect the award. Moby then publicly voiced his distaste for Eminem's lyrics.
I think Eminem is very talented, but lyrically, I find him to be really offensive.
M didn't waste a second and instantly lit him up with some iconic bars on Without Me.
Moby, you can get stoned by Moby. You 36-year-old bald-headed scam.
Moby tried to take the moral high ground, but M turned him into a meme by dressing up as a bald-headed dude on the music video.
Moby, you can get stoned by Moby. You 36-year-old bald-headed scam.
M had too much fun mocking Moby during the behind-the-scenes too.
Have I been tricked? Energy OBB one with the earth. Have you seen my eyebrows? This could be a very good video because I'm in it.
Things then got pretty awkward at the 2002 MTV VMA Music Awards.
How could Eminem call you a 36-year-old bald-headed? Eminem, come on. Let's talk to him. What?
M won the award, but someone in the crowd wasn't pleased with the way he treated Moby.
Keep booing. Keep booing, little girl. I will hit a man with glasses.
He attacked me at an MTV Music Awards like 20 years ago. Who wants to pick on Moby? It's like picking on like the weak kid who doesn't know how to tie his shoelaces.
Well, Moby had a few things to say about me, so I just said a few things back and just spoke my piece and I guess be done with it.
After that, years passed, but Moby would still talk about Eminem during interviews and even released a book explaining what happened in even more detail. And M and this beef, one song, 2 bars, complete annihilation. For beef rating, 5 out of 10. Eminem doesn't score any major points for going at Moby, but it was entertaining. Let's not cap. Is 5 fair? Various pop stars.
I'm sick of you little girl and boy groups, all you do is annoy me, so I have been sent here to destroy you.
In the early 2000s, pop ruled the airwaves. Boy bands, Britney, Bubblegum, TRL was king. The labels were printing money. Then Eminem showed up and said, all of this. He didn't just diss pop stars. He used them. Targets everyone.
It's kind of like picking names out of a hat. And if your name rhymes with something good, or you know what I mean? Then If you're, you know, a pop figure, you know what I mean?
Will Smith, the one who sparked it all. At the MTV VMAs, Eminem and Will Smith sat next to each other, and Will even dapped up M before collecting his award. Then he said this.
I never killed nobody in none of my records. I don't use no profanity in none of my records, and still I managed to get up there.
Shady thought he was dissing the whole genre of rap.
Felt like he was taking a stab at me and Dre and anybody who uses profanity on a record to express themselves.
Eminem then dissed Will Smith with one of the most iconic bars of all time on the track, The Real Slim Shady.
Will Smith don't got a cuss in his raps to sell records. Well, I do, so f*** him and you too. You think I give a damn about a Grammy? Half of you critics can't even stomach me, let alone stand me.
M just loved joking around about Will.
Yeah, all I know is I'm upstairs, I'm listening to my Will Smith CD, and I've seen all these flames going everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Hold on a minute.
Then there was Christina Aguilera. She leaked M's secret wedding to Kim. So M torched her.
He's cute, but I think he's married to Kim. I should download her audio on MP3 and show the whole world how you gave him an M.
Britney Spears. She didn't even say anything.
Why? You guys can just lie to get me here so you can sit me here next to Britney Spears? Christina Aguilera better switch me chairs.
He heard a rumor that I was married and then said, yeah, he's cute, but isn't he married though?
I heard he's married now. Eminem? Yeah, totally. The girl that he talks about killing on his record, actually.
And I was like, no, you didn't just say that, you little bitch.
Eminem found pop icons as easy targets, which I personally found hilarious at the time. NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. Collateral Damage. Roasted by association. The first shots came on Marshall Mathers.
Instincts to kill instinct, don't get me started. These brats can't sing and Britney's garbage. What's this bitch? Give me back my $16.
And then again on I'm Back.
By the way, NSYNC, why do they sing? Am I the only one who realizes they stink?
In classic M fashion, he even mocked the pop stars on TV.
Yo, this is MTV. Eminem TV. There will be no videos here by the Backstreet Boys, Instinct, 98 Disease. This is my channel for the next 2 hours.
Eminem then dropped a freestyle dissing the lot of them.
Look at me, I'm Britney Spears. Check it out, look at the way I wear my mascara. How you doing? My name is Christina Aguilera, and I sing songs about a genie in a bottle. And I'm Britney Spears, I got big tits. I'm a role model to all little kids, but I got breast implants. That was the best way I knew to get my chest enhanced. My instinct is to kill instinct and the Backstreet Boys. It really doesn't matter cause I got a scratchy voice. Yo, check it out, but if you ask me, I ain't gonna be happy till I see every member of the Backstreet Boys getting an ass beat.
They never responded. They couldn't. Because M wasn't playing the fame game. He was playing lyrical Mortal Kombat. This wasn't beef. It was target practice. Beef rating? 7 out of 10. This was M clowning pop culture, and no one could touch him back. Is 7 fair, or should these strays get more credit? Who do you think got roasted the worst? Michael Jackson.
Sensationalism seems to sell more than wonderful, positive news, and people rather hear gossip, I think.
Eminem never played by industry rules, and he never cared if you were a legend, a billionaire, or a king. So, when Michael Jackson was under fire from the media, Slim Shady didn't show restraint. He showed his teeth. On Just Lose It and mocked it all.
Guess who's back with a brand new rap? And I don't mean rap as in a new case of child investigation accusation.
Looking back, M didn't just diss, he loved clowning people. It was sport, therapy, and entertainment all in one. In the music video, he dressed like Michael, pretended to burn his scalp, mocked his nose. It wasn't subtle, it wasn't respectful, it was vicious. MJ didn't respond with a diss track. He responded with class, but he was hurt.
I've never met Mr. Eminem, and to have him, I've always admired him, and to have him do something like that was pretty painful as an artist to another artist.
BET banned the video. Steve Harvey called it in bad taste. Even Michael's fans protested.
Right now in Times Square, there is a pro-Michael Jackson rally as fans of the King of Pop protest Eminem's new video that pokes fun at Michael Jackson in a very personal way.
He should be ashamed of himself, what he's doing.
But Eminem didn't care, didn't flinch, didn't apologize.
Now everyone report to the dance floor. All right, stop. Pajama time. Come here, little kiddies. On my lap. Guess who's back with a brand new rap? And I don't mean rap as in a new case of chop. Thanks and accusing.
And then Michael Jackson did the coldest thing ever done in a rap beef. He bought Eminem's music catalog. Through his company, Sony ATV, MJ acquired Famous Music, which owned a huge chunk of M's publishing. Every time M performed certain tracks, Michael got paid. No bars, no interviews, just checks. That's not just a clapback. That's a power move that no diss track could ever match.
It was completely meant to be all in jest, as with the MC Hammer, the Madonna, the Pee Wee Herman.
Right. In the end, Just Lose It became more than a diss. It turned into a twisted chapter of music history, where even the insulted got paid and the ghosts still cash checks. Beef rating, 9.5 out of 10. Eminem mocked him, but MJ bought his publishing, and that's worth a 9.5 alone from me. Would you agree? Rate this one below. Esham. Before Eminem became the face of Detroit, Esham was the underground legend. He built his name on acid rap, horrorcore, dark themes, and raw energy.
In Detroit, you'll be lucky if you're not the victim of a shooting. In Detroit, crackhead zombies still prostituting. In Detroit.
In the streets of Detroit, he was respected. He was first. But when Eminem blew up, suddenly Esham wasn't the face anymore. Eminem was, and he was bringing his crew D12 along for the ride. On Eminem's first album, the Slim Shady LP, he name-dropped Esham on the track Still Don't Give a F.
From the second I was born, my mama lost me. I'm a cross between Nance and Esham and Ozzy.
Here, M acknowledged a similarity between himself and Esham, before going on to denounce acid rap on the track Kill You.
I ain't acid rap, but I rap on acid. Got me flow rolling, just had a strap on at it.
Esham took the bait and from that moment released an album of scathing diss tracks towards Eminem. One of the tracks was called Glocks Up.
This white boy named Eminem, he say he live like me. Talking about he from Detroit, the east side like me. Talking about he don't spit acid rap, but spit acid like me.
Then there was All Night, Every Day.
The style that you running around with is ours. You and them shady suckers is nothing but cowards.
Then came the disgusting track Chemical Imbalance, where he took aim at M's daughter, Haley.
And remind Eminem of D'Angelo Bailey. Haley's in a coma, Haley's in a coma. I smell the aroma of a dead body. Chemical imbalance, chemical imbalance.
I think we can all agree that Esham crossed a line here. So when Esham found himself on the 2001 Warped Tour with Eminem's crew D12, things went down. Esham and his crew got their asses kicked by D12 and their entourage.
Went up to Esham, come here, come here. Socked him twice. You know what I'm saying? Then denied him, came in, we owned him. And after that, yeah, they kicked us off the tour. They kicked us off the tour.
This fight resulted in both D12 and Esham getting kicked off of the Warped Tour. But even more significantly, it showed that D12 had M's back. That's real beef, not a freestyle. And to give credit where it's due, Esham had bars, some cold disses too. And M, he didn't even reply in his music on this one. He let the streets do the talking. Needless to say, the beef died down. But years later, Esham was still salty towards the man who became the king of Detroit.
When Eminem actually blew up, he kind of came in with the West Coast and Dr. Dre and all of those people. So his success was not really the success of the region, if you understand what I'm saying.
Eminem forgot about Esham, but Esham, to this day, he still can't let it go.
And I'm the only person that lyrically defeated Eminem. Hands down, flawless victory. So ain't no you said something. So if he's still butthurt about that, fucking good. I'll say it again. Him.
But let's keep it 100. Only one of these guys stood the test of time, and it wasn't Esham.
But I'm done with this shit, man.
All right.
I gotta go. Anybody that ever touched me is dead. So what I'm gonna say about that?
For sure.
I'm out of here.
Beef rating? 7.5 out of 10. You rating higher for the chaos or lower for the silence? Drop it below. Nelly.
When I went on MTV, I made some comments because, you know, I'm still fresh from the loo. I'm ready. It's up. Hey, like, where you at?
The year 2000? That was Eminem's Summer. The Marshall Mathers LP moved 1.78 million copies its first week. The fastest selling rap album in history. He wasn't just a rapper anymore. He was a movement. But just a few hundred miles away, another Midwest star was quietly blowing up. Nelly's country grammar dropped with barely any budget.
I'm going down, baby. No street and a range over street. Ready to let go.
It sold 235,000 copies and crash landed at number 3 on the Billboard charts. 2 emerging artists, 2 regional kings, 1 summer. Nelly sparked the beef when he appeared as a guest host on TRL.
Well, how do you feel about Eminem? What's up with that? How's your feelings on that?
Well, you know, Dirty, I don't too much know nothing about Dirty, you know what I'm saying? But he be having some sly little comments about me on himself, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but you know me, I don't play with candy, you know what I'm saying? I eat M&Ms, flat out, you know what I'm saying? I don't smash on them like that, you know? So,
official drama on TRL.
Man, that diss was lame as hell. Even Slim held his tongue until Nelly released the track Number 1.
And number 1. Now let me ask you, man, what does it take to be number 1? 2 is not a winner, and 3 nobody remembers.
Despite being rivals numbers-wise, M certainly didn't see Nelly as a threat, but still gave him a subtle reminder on what would happen if he carried on by mocking his Air Force One's track on his Invasion mixtape.
I'm just trying to give you a little hint for your own benefit, cause then it's gonna get to the point where it escalates into some other shit, and I'ma flip, then I'ma get to stomping in my Air Force Ones. Won't be able to tell if it's 2 purrs or a swarm.
After this, everything fizzled out. The beef turned out to be one big misunderstanding, which Nelly confirmed on the Bootleg Kev podcast.
Yo, I felt like a man, and because we were Eminem fans. Yeah, I'm glad we squashed that, man, because M is a cat.
He is one of them guys.
Yeah.
Beef rating, 4 out of 10. Some subliminals, then it fizzled. Light beef, quick fade. Should this be higher, or is 4 generous? Hit the comments. Everlast.
You had a famous beef with Eminem that got squashed.
Before Eminem took over the world, Everlast already had stripes. Jump around. He had a hit.
Pack it up, pack it in, let me begin.
He had respect, but by 2000, the tables had turned. Eminem was on fire. Eminem mania was spreading through the world like wildfire. And Everlast, he was suddenly salty. It all started when they crossed paths at a hotel. M said he didn't even notice Everlast, and Everlast felt disrespected.
I felt slighted by him at a meeting, like our first initial meeting. I tried to shake his hand and just kind of felt like I got egged.
So he took his shot, dropped a diss track, and slipped in a jab to M and his daughter Haley in his guest verse on Dilated People's Eardrums Pop remix.
Cock my hammer, spit a comment like Haley. A buck of 380 on ones that act shady.
Subliminals aside, he did what nobody should ever do, and that's mention Haley.
He thought in the first record that I did a little line about him on in Dilated Peoples, I say something about Haley's comment at that. I didn't know his daughter's name was Haley.
Now, who the hell believes that? Not me. Evidence from Dilated Peoples also beefed with them because of his involvement.
I guess he felt like, because maybe we had met and been cool, that I single-handedly allowed Everlast to diss him.
M responded on a track which poked fun at Everlast's persona and acoustic blues guitar style called I Remember.
Dumbest thing that you could ever do. Let's try to pump a 380 on those that act shady. Tell me now what you gonna do.
The beef was now in full swing when Everlast released an official Eminem diss track called Whitey's Revenge.
So won't that Slim Shady please act up? Get smacked up, get your eyes blacked up.
He asked me like, yo, Em heard this record and he's just curious if you dissed him. And I was like, so he thinks, so he's taking notice of me all of a sudden, right? So I was like, my answer literally was like, what if I say yeah? And B-Real was like, well, you know he's gonna come at you. I was like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Right.
Oh, he took note and responded on a track called Quitter.
Figure you can diss me to jumpstart your career. I punch you in your chest till your heart kicks in gear. Talk about my little girl in a song again. I'ma kill you.
Everyone knows that you don't aim for Eminem's daughter. So M switches up the beat halfway through in a nod to Tupac's Hit 'Em Up.
First off, your songs and this you say, this my wife, but at least I got a bitch you. You claim to be a Muslim, but you Irish white. So you fat boy, drop the mic, let's fight.
Classic M, eh? Speaking of Hit 'Em Up, have you checked out our viral documentary on Tupac's Hit 'Em Up? Gotta love a shameless plug. Anyway, Everlast tried to respond, but it just didn't land. And in a roundabout way, that made another beef unfold, which spawned one of Eminem's best diss tracks. We'll cover that one next. Our beef rating, 8 out of 10. He mentioned Haley, and that's a death sentence in Shady's world. What would you rate this one? Higher than 8? Let me know below. Limp Bizkit.
The reason that I diss Limp Bizkit is because they're little girls.
Limp Bizkit, one of the biggest bands in the world.
Keep rolling, 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 rolling. Keep rolling, 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 rolling.
Eminem took issue with its lead singer Fred Durst, as well as their DJ, DJ Lethal. Fred and Eminem used to be cool, same era, same attitude. Eminem even shouted out Limp Bizkit in the thank you notes on the Slim Shady LP. They even toured and collaborated together. But when Eminem's beef with Everlast started heating up, that's when things started to sour. During Eminem's back and forth with Everlast, Fred Durst and DJ Lethal of Limp Bizkit volunteered to be on one of Eminem's diss tracks towards Everlast. But when it came to recording the track, both Fred Durst and DJ Lethal got cold feet. Eminem was prepared to let things slide. That's until DJ Lethal appeared on MTV and said that Everlast would beat Eminem's ass if the two were to ever engage in a physical altercation. This is when everything changed. M felt blindsided and betrayed. So he hit the studio and recorded Girls. Girls was a hidden track on D12's Devil's Night album and stands as one of Eminem's greatest diss tracks. Eminem takes aim at Fred Durst and DJ Lethal.
Then I'm pegging Fred with the bottle of dye that he bleached his head with. And as for Lethal, don't forget what I said. I'm you up, punk. You're dead. Don't think that I'm playing. And Biscuit.
That whole track was crazy. Classic Eminem, sweeping the world's biggest rock band to the side like they were nobodies. And after that, nothing else needed to be said. Limp Bizkit faded from the spotlight, while Eminem continued to dominate the music industry. And to this day, Fred Durst still doesn't understand where it all went wrong.
What about Eminem? I know you used to joke around with Eminem back in the day.
Yeah, he used to be my homie.
He used to be. Have you talked to him recently?
No, I haven't talked to him since he turned on me.
Oh, really? What happened?
I don't know, but I still love him.
You
still
do?
love his town. I like him as a person.
If you saw him today, would you be willing to do a new track with him?
Dude, I got mad love for him. He remembers our time together as genuine, and I don't know what all that other shit was.
Beef rating? A strong 8. What do you think? Was Eminem out of line, or would you have done what he did too? Let us know in the comments. Cage. Cage was raw, weird, dark, a horrorcore underground beast. He had fans, he had bars, he had a style. And when Eminem blew up, Cage swore that style was his.
For the whack mentals, spin all over the mic Reynolds. Bring all your dogs, my name is Cage Kennels. Now blues patch like vets on too much catasat. And about 4 sacks, the cheerleader will begin to bleed. Then we'll bring you up to speed on the orange stage.
He said M stole his flow, stole his cadence, his subject matter, even the twisted persona.
In the beginning, when he first popped up out here, you know what I'm saying, it was like he came out of nowhere, like some kid from Detroit. He had said like a lot of similar lines, but kind of like
no doubt.
Crazy white boy, exactly. All that.
After this, he geared up and dissed M on a track called Illest 4-Letter Word.
I heard some block walking through New York looking for Cage. I stabbed you in the face 10 times in the same place.
Eminem didn't even flinch. He absolutely owned Cage with these lyrics on the track Role Model.
When I dropped the solo, it's over with. I bought Cage's tape, opened it, and dubbed over it.
This infamous line was classic Eminem. He clearly didn't see Cage as a threat at all, and that's because he wasn't. He kept the insults coming on indigenous tribes' drastic measures.
Scrap that up with Mr. Groove. Hurry, I'm trying to pick up Cage's sister early.
And then again on a freestyle on Tony Touch's Power Cypher 3 mixtape.
I write a rhyme a day, so it's no wonder how come your whole album is sounding like a bunch of shit that I would say. So whether it's one verse or it's one letter, I'll probably be the cleverest one who never gets spawned, ever.
Cage dropped a few more disses, including a promo called Shady that mocked Eminem's alter ego.
Acting out the life of Cage, childhood Steve. Women straight jackets in your videos and magazines. Let me take a poll, how many want it in the chest?
These bars didn't leave a scratch on him, but according to Necro, Eminem allegedly wanted to find where Cage was and f*** him up.
I went up to a place called 88 Hip Hop, and Eminem was there. He was real concerned about Cage, you know, like, man, like, he thought maybe I was still down with Cage because he had beef with Cage. So he was like, you still fuck with Cage? And I'm like, nah, I don't fuck with that dude. That dude's corny. And he was like, oh, okay, because I'm looking for him. I was like, really? You looking for him? He's like, yeah, you know. He talks and he wanted to, he said he was gonna fuck Cage up.
Cage had talent, sure, but by this point, Eminem had gone global and claimed Detroit, leaving the underground rapper in his rear view. In the end, Cage was just another would-be rival, turned into a footnote. Our beef rating, 5 out of 10. Cage never stood a chance, just a footnote in the Shady legacy. You think a 5 feels right? Let us know. Insane Clown Posse.
There's a group called ICP that had some things to say about me and made a little diss record on me or whatever. So, you know, and they're from the same, well, they're not from the same city. They're from the suburbs or whatever of Michigan.
Before he was a rap god, Eminem was a hungry nobody with duct-taped demo tapes and Sharpie-scrawled flyers. He was printing his own show posters, hustling open mics, clawing for attention in Detroit's gritty underground scene. And then he made his first real enemies, the Insane Clown Posse. Not for clout, not for money, just because he couldn't resist pushing buttons. When Eminem dropped the Slim Shady EP in 1997, he was handing out flyers as invites to the event. On one of those flyers, it suggested that the Insane Clown Posse would be attending the event. Eminem handed Violent J from ICP an invite. Needless to say, he wasn't amused. ICP didn't agree to the show.
And then I looked at it and I had my name and I said, how you gonna put ICP on this fucking flyer when, you know what I'm saying, when you don't even know if we're gonna be there, and then put maybe like that. And then he said, well, I'm asking you now, you know what I'm saying, you wanna come show up? And I was like, hell no, man, what the f? And I was like, man, don't be putting our name on this shit. And I walked away, and he was just like, you know, I guess he took it as a diss, you know what I'm saying? But he could take it however he wants it. I didn't give a f. We do our own thing, you know what I mean?
Eminem then started dissing ICP. He first dissed ICP on the track, Till Hell Freezes Over.
Spaced out like sci-fi TV. ICP, buy my CD.
In return, ICP thought they were funny by mocking Eminem's single, Hi, My Name Is, with a track called Slim Anus.
My name is, my name is, my name is Slim Anus.
Credit to ICP, I guess, because this is hands down the worst diss track I've ever heard in my entire life. Eminem responded on the track, Marshall Mathers.
Slim Anus, you damn right Slim Anus. I don't get in mine like you two little flames.
They really walked into that one, didn't they? A bit of a side note. You know that weird Ken Kniff skit on the Marshall Mathers LP? That was aimed at ICP too. If I'm skipping any tracks on the album, it's that one. Huh. ICP then clapped back with Ain't Nothing But a Thing.
Telling us we fake, no get back. I'ma knock your teeth out the back of your neck.
A for effort, that's more like it. And after that, everything died down. Eminem's crew D12 and ICP squashed the beef. D12 and ICP even had a bowling match against each other, which meant the beef was officially squashed.
Yeah, problem with Eminem. I can't make.
We don't got one no more. That's old.
under the bridge now.
That's like if you have beef with somebody in high school and right now
I have
you see
beef with
him.
Prodigy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like that shit happened in 1999 to like 2001. What year is it? You know what I'm saying?
Beef rating? 7 out of 10. Eminem hit ICP with the reverse Uno card, but this didn't really turn into an all-out lyrical war. Do you agree? Flood the comments and let us know. So, that's it. 21 beefs, some petty, some personal, some so violent, we're shocked nobody pressed charges. Because that's what people do nowadays, right? Eminem beefed with everybody. Rappers, singers, critics, pop princesses, his ex, his mom. Did we miss anything? Probably. It's Eminem. The man's beefed with entire demographics. If we forgot your favorite diss, cry about it in the comments. Seriously, jump in and tell us who caught it the worst. Benzino, MGK, Mariah, his own fucking mom. So go on, smash the like button, hit subscribe. Because if you've made it this far, you're officially part of the 92 Bricks squad. This was Eminem versus everybody. See you on the next one. Peace.
Hey, I'm the hottest in the game right now. 92 bricks, nigga, and I need 8 more. 3 a.m. fiends knocking at my door like knock, 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 nigga, what's that sound?